Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and after attempting to show off Venusaur in a Quagsire deck yesterday and failing, I figured we may as well revisit Venusaur. I think it's a fun archetype. It's still not really pushed on much in the format thanks to the likes of Blacephalon remaining popular in the format, as well as Ultra Necrozma still having a standpoint as well. I think against Zoroark decks and against Zapdos decks, this is a very solid archetype. And it's just a really interesting deck where you don't really see many quad builds just yet. I think when Green Search comes out in Unbroken Bonds, we'll be much more used to seeing sorts of quad builds of tag team decks. And this is sort of the first of its kind. So let's have a look at Celebi and Venusaur tag team and see my own inclusions. It's always a fun archetype to try and play. I've always been an advocate of PokéNavs in my build. Even back before Team Up was released, my initial proxied list played for PokéNavs. No one's taken that approach, and please do, because it's good. It's really synergistic with Judge's Whistle and Acro Bike, and it helps you brick less, because you need to hit those DCs on turn 2 to attack. This guy is the best card in the deck. He really is solid, and no one's done it but me. So hopefully we can show off PokéNav in the list as well, to good effect. So let's jump into Celebi and Venusaur tag team, what he's all about. He's all about this big number up the top here. 270, it's a lot to deal with. And I'm going to try and make that even chunkier with choice helmets that we're playing in the list. We're not using buff padding because a lot of decks are playing Absol. I'm instead going for choice helmets because that's going to protect you against the one-hit KO stuff from Ultra Squids and Pika Rom anyway. So those are the kind of two things we need to be concerned about hugely. You should never be worried about Zapdos one-shotting you. It's just not going to happen. So the buff padding isn't going to matter too much. Plus there's Absol anyway that ruins it. So yeah, onto its attacks. Pollen Hazard is the first one for a grass and 2 colorless, doing 50. Your opponent's active is now burned, confused, and poisoned. Very, very awkward for them. They oftentimes have to retreat out the active or Guzma out the way. Because, all this status can be really annoying. You effectively have a base of 80 damage with the poison and burn instantly taking effect. And confusion as well could be a lingering status that's going to be awkward for them to deal with. Then we have Solar Beam for 2 grass, 2 colorless. You do 150. It's a pretty reasonable baseline. You're one-shotting every non-GX pretty much. And you're 2-shotting every GX and even 2-shotting tag teams, which is pretty reasonable for you. Evergreen GX is a nice option. For 2 grass, 2 colorless, you do 180, and you heal all damage from him, which is incredible. This is obviously a tanking deck. This gives us a way of just doing a max potion style effect and keeping all of that energy on at once, which is incredible. And if we have that extra grass energy attached, we get to shuffle all cards from our discard pile into our deck. That means we can reset some hammers, which we're playing in the list. We can reset the amount of Gardenias that we have access to, as well as Guzmas. It means we can win out on Stadium War as well, which is really huge. So this GX attack option is very, very, integral to the deck. It's a big part of it. And getting that extra shuffle is also something that we do look for in certain matchups where, our opponent has a lot of stadiums, or if we need to have these crushing hammers, oftentimes you don't need crushing hammers in every matchup. They're often here to really help out against things like Ultra Necrozma, because otherwise they can sit and wait until they get one-shots, basically. If you actually have hammers in the list and you can get rid of metal energies, you can put them on a clock sometimes. So it's not in every matchup that you need the hammers. It's a little bit of extra disruption against everything in general that we can always insta-play, which we're happy about. But it's in here specifically for some certain matchups, which would otherwise just be too difficult to even have a hope against. So you don't have to reset your deck in every situation, but if you've gone light on Guzmas, light on Gardenias, just from random Acro Bikes getting rid of a certain number of cards, we can reset them if we really have to. And the games do go long with Venusaur, so if you want to reset your deck to stop decking out, because we have, so many Acro Bikes that dig deep, we have PokéNavs and Judge's Whistle all taking cards from the deck a lot of the time, we might have to stop ourselves decking with this Evergreen, so do bear that in mind. From there, 3 copies of Shaymin. It has the Floral Heal ability. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 from your active Grass Pokemon. Really, really solid ability. It has 70 hit points, but hopefully we can push this into a chunkier amount with Aether Paradise, so even Zapdos has to commit Electro Powers with their Guzmas. And we only play 3 copies. I've seen 3 and 4 float between. At the moment, I'm favouring a 7th Grass Energy. Normally, 7 Grass Energy is staple anyway, but I play the PokéNav, so it helps you find those energies anyways. But yeah, you play 4 Shaymin only really because you don't want to prize them. But playing the 3 means you have a slightly increased chance of starting your Celebi, which is always better for you. So you have less of like a turn 1 loss condition, basically. It also means, you know, in most situations, you won't be benching 3 Shaymin anyway, because your opponent can take those 3 easy prizes, then just knock out 1 Celebi. If you just put 2 Shaymin on your board at any one time, they can take those prizes, but then they still have to get through 2 Celebi and Venusaurs, and that's very, very difficult for them. So be careful about when you bench these Shaymins. Always keep the prize trade in mind when you're using them. But this extra heal of 20 or 40, because they're stackable on these Celebi and Venusaurs, when we're already having the reduction of sometimes 60 damage stacking, with Gardenia racking up as well, it's going to be a lot of heal and a lot to deal with for the opponent. So really solid ability to support the archetype. Onto our item cards, we play 4 of everything because we just want to cycle as much as possible. What better card to cycle than Acro Bike? Look at the top 2, put one in hand, discard the other. Oftentimes we're looking for, you know, energies and Gardenias and Guzma BUS and stuff like that. We can bin excess supporter cards, we can bin, you know, all sorts of things because we can always have the evergreen backup. So Acro Bike helping us dig deep is nice. Judge's Whistle is going to serve the same purpose, drawing an extra card in the early turns when we need to, and also having the option to recycle a Judge for disruption. Disrupting your opponent's hand whilst also going for Pollen Hazard can be a great way to deny them attacking for a turn, because they have to retreat out of their active, find a new attacker to use, and if you've judged them to a low hand size, they sometimes won't be able to get that. So buying a free turn with this deck is actually really, really important. So resetting your Judge with these whistles is always a really cool option for you, and always just being able to cycle 1 card to help us dig deeper towards DCEs, stadiums, all that good stuff in the early turns. From there, my favorite card, PokéNav. You get to look at the top 3 and reveal a Pokemon or energy you find there and put it into your hand, and then put the other cards back in any order. This is really important because we have synergy with the Whistles, Acro Bikes, Lillie, and Erika. These are all synergistic cards with PokéNav. You basically stack your top 3 cards so that you can draw into the better ones instead of the rubbish ones. You can also set your PokéNav in a certain way that you can Acro Bike away the worst card of the 3 and take the other stuff. Obviously, at the same time, it's increasing your odds of hitting DCs, Grass Energies, Celebis. These are all the things you want. So this is an excellent, excellent card in the deck. Please play it. It's more versatile than your Nest Balls. There's the small downside of Nest Ball, you know, being a guaranteed Pokemon. This is obviously not guaranteed, so if you do have the headache of starting Shaymin, you technically have less outs, which is fair enough. But if you want to play just a couple PokéNavs and a couple Nest Balls, I wouldn't mind that either. But for now, I'm loving the PokéNav because it helps you get DCE, and that's a critical card for this deck. You want to attack turn 2. Attacking on turn 3 or 4 is slow as anything. You don't want that to happen. Find your DCs, PokéNav helps, etc, etc. Stacks with the deck for the Judge's Whistles and Acro Bikes. Great synergy card overall. Netball is awesome. We really want to see this early, especially if we haven't started Celebi Venusaur. Go ahead and grab yourself one and start attaching all your tools and the energies to it. Also grabs your Shaymins, of course, and gets you more grass energy, which we do need. You know, if we want to use Evergreen for the full effect, we need 3 grass attached to our guy. So although the DCs are critical, the grass energies are also really important to dig out, and Netball does the job very nicely. I've already mentioned Crushing Hammer a little bit and how it can help against Ultra Necrozma. It's extra disruption against everything else. We have the Whistle Judge combo, so if we are removing energies, trying to take 2 shots, stopping our opponent have backup attackers when they're having to pay retreat out of their confused stuff, it's going to be really annoying for them and very good for us. Trying to deny big one-hit KO attacks, like an Ultra Necrozma that's just sat on the bench with like a Metal and a couple Psychics, knowing that they can just recharge twice and get a big one-shot the next turn. Trying to crushing away a Metal Energy at the right time could be a big deal, force them to find more stuff. And again, to stop them having good backup attackers possible. There's the option to play Enhanced Hammers, but right now I'm more concerned about Ultra. Ultra's a really bad matchup for us, and having the Crushing Hammers gives us an inch of a chance. Really an inch of a chance, but we play this to disrupt every deck in general. We can reset them with Celebi. We don't have to take 6 prizes with this deck. Sometimes we can win just by out-resourcing them, by removing all the energy cards, by attacking them, forcing them to pay retreat, and crushing their backup attackers. That's the whole idea here. From there, we're going to have 4 stadium cards. 3 of them are Aether, Paradise, Conservation Area. Each of your basic grass, in this case, Pokemon take 20 less from your opponent's attacks. As I mentioned, it means your Shaymins are a little bit less vulnerable. so that we hopefully don't get donked in certain situations. Also, it means that Zapdos still has to expend resources like Electropowers into this if they want to take those cheeky, easy prizes. And of course, it's just making this guy even beefier, pushing us up to 300 effective hit points, whilst we're also doing these extra heals is just insane. One Life Forest Prism Star. The idea is that we win the Stadium War with Aether Paradise, and then we have the Life Forest at the last stadium hitting the board, so that we can get the free 60 heal and removing all special conditions from our grass Pokemon every single turn. So that's just incredible value for you. It's a Pokemon Center Lady that sticks in play is the idea. And obviously this is the thing that we can't reset with our Evergreen, so be very careful when you put this into play, but it's an absolute lifesaver of a card. It's going to really make your Celebi Venusaur tanky as anything. Onto the supporters, the Judge for Disruption. Then we have pretty much everything else is here to try and help us draw better. Couple copies of Erika. The opponent will fill their bench more than likely, and you get to draw a bunch of cards. Has that synergy with PokéNav, wink wink nudge nudge. Then we have 3 copies of Lillie to help us draw cards as well. This isn't ideal in like the mid game, but it's still a reasonable early game card. That's why we're just having 3 instead of 4 copies, whereas Cynthia is always just a solid draw 6 with the shuffle effect. And then we have the sort of healing aspect with Gardenia. Heal 80 from one of your Pokemon that's a grass energy attached. Obviously intended to keep your Venusaur nice and healthy. 3 copies is a lot, but you want to have access to this whenever, because you want to always be safe and out of range. So I like having the high count. Similar with Guzma, this is a card that we like having access to a lot of the time. Your opponent might bring up a Celesaur to try and stall it, you know, if we're trying to power up a second one on the go. Also, we want to be able to pick off other targets on our opponent's side of the field, so this is a big card. Do bear in mind that we oftentimes have to pay retreat out of our 1 retreat cost Shaymin to do so. So Guzma isn't like the strongest card in this deck, but it's still a useful thing because we are so reliant on 2 shots that we oftentimes need to pick things off. Also means we can Evergreen and knock out like a Tapu Lele as well and keep up with the prize race if possible. From there, 2 choice helmets. I prefer this to buff padding, as I mentioned, just because of the amount of Absol in the meta right now. And this does the job of reducing damage by 30 from GXs and EXs, so that's already serving a lot of purpose for keeping us out of 1-hit range from the likes of Pika-Roms and from the likes of Ultra as well, is the hope. And obviously having an extra 30 reduction on top of the stadium is going to make Zoroark players really just not happy. Then we're going to have the 4 DC and 7 grass splits. This is all very important stuff. Obviously we need all of them to get our expensive attack costs rolling. So in terms of other cards we could be adding into the list, I think Acerola is one of these cards that a lot of people do play around with. It's one of those situations where if you're able to stack up enough energy onto a backup Venusaur, you can just Acerola up 1, get all your stuff back and go into a new one. Obviously, if you just have Grass DC on 1 active, a Grass on the bench Venusaur, you tank a big bunch of damage that you can't like Gardenia off. You can Acerola, put back that DC on the new Venusaur, that's the idea. So it's a reasonable card. At the moment I'm going for high Gardenia, but if you want to like trim or make a split, you can go for that if you really wish. This can also give us some extra pivoting options for you. Speaking of pivoting, there's a skateboard which might be entering into the list. Obviously Tord made a very popular list that was playing lots of Jirachis to reduce the clunk factor of this deck. Also meant that you could Guzma a lot more with his build because you have a skateboard naturally in the deck. But having a couple copies in this deck, even without much synergy, is still useful just to make your Guzmas stronger. Slapping in a skateboard onto one of your Shaymin can really help you so that you can get extra manual attachments on Venusaurs elsewhere on the board. So I could see this being a reasonable like 1 or 2 of in the deck, similar to the Choice Helmet. That it's just a card that you can instantly play and it makes your Guzmas a little bit less rubbish in this deck. Honestly, if you're not a fan of Crushing Hammer, it's a cuttable card in my opinion. You can out-resource things without hammers. If you want to just play the skateboards, you can go for that and have a higher Guzma count. If you really want to go down the Jirachi build, you can also go for that list as well, that Tord's obviously shown off. And that was a while ago now, and it hasn't seen much play, but the thought is still there, and he's put testing in, so I wouldn't cross him if it was me. But let's jump into the ladder with a simple build of Celesaur and see how it plays, because it can be an awkward tanky deck for a lot of other things to deal with. As long as we can dodge Bucephalon, and really we don't like seeing much Ultra Necrozma either. We basically need to hit well on Crushing Hammers to beat that matchup. Just target their Metal Energies, but that's really all we can do. Do expect mulligans. Looks like we're up against a Turbo Pikarom because I see Treasure. Makes me think it's Turbo. Yeah, we really don't like seeing Let Loose. We really don't like seeing Blacephalon. Those are the two things we're most scared of, I would say. And Ultra. Ultra is just awkward as well. Do expect to mulligan a good chunk because, you know, only 7 basics, etc. We'll put down a Shaymin. Don't see why not. And we're really hoping our opponent plays a lot of basics down for this Erika turn 1. At least we have the godly PokéNav. Oh, our opponent led a Let Loose. Happy days. And look, they're playing an Absol. Good thing we play the choice helmets over the buff padding. Very good. They're going to go ahead and Nest Ball out Pikarom out the gate. Obviously scary that they can go for a big chunk of damage all at once with their GX attack on not 1 but sometimes 2 Celesaurs. Very, very intimidating. Our opponent's going pretty crazy with their ball search here. They're going to Ultra Ball away Policy Guzma by the looks of things to grab themselves a Coco Prism out the gates. And it's a nice Lillie for 8 cards. So far no lightnings in the bin, but they're going to start Acro Biking. That's another Pikarom in the discard pile. See an attachment to the Marshadow. Ultra Ball as well. They're obviously likely to play a lot of energy switching cards. They're going to Ultra Ball away 2 lightnings for a Lele. Obvious synergy with their Dance of the Ancients Coco. And it's over to us. Fortunately, they did bench 3 things. We've also drawn into a energy card. Do I want to PokéNav first? It will just inform us of the Erika. It won't really make it any better. We're just going to Erika for 4 here. Now we have the PokéNav Acro Bike synergy, busted. We get to pull out a DCE, which is busted. And we can Acro Bike away a Cynthia here, because there's already one in our hand. PokéNav, you're the best. Let's grab that Nest Ball. Let's bravely attach. We are holding on to a Gardenia. I think I'm also going to hold the Netball. Netball could be for a Shaymin if we need to. If he's going to go for a full blitz. 150, 120, 100. Basically, we could undo almost all of that damage next turn. If we really needed to. We'll see what our opponent tries to do here. They have the free retreat on Marshadow. They just need to find themselves Energy E-Switch or Energy Thunder Mountain. Or E-Switch Thunder Mountain. Any of those combinations work. To get that first attack in. That's why it's so integral for us to hit DCs early. Because if we just sit here sponging without doing pollen hazards, we're just going to get slaughtered. Let's see what our opponent wants to do. Obviously, Aether Paradise also works for the Lightning decks, and there's a lot of Zapdos and Pikarom around, but against Zapdos, it doesn't have any effect on how we try and two-shot them, or we still one-shot them with Solar Beam, we still two-shot them with Pollen Hazard into Solar Beam anyway. And against these guys, we can't one-shot them regardless, and we're just going to try and put the status conditions on them. So there's the attachment and the E-Switch, and he's going to hit us for 120. And he's going to put it all on the active. Okay, he ain't messing around. Right, let's heal a little bit. Let's heal a little bit more. And let's heal to full. Let's do this. Getting rid of a Celesaur is a little bit scary, but we have to do it. Let's heal. One thing we have to be very, very afraid of is Tapu Koko GX coming in. So it's rare that you ever set up two Celesaurs in this matchup. You basically just hope that one carries you through. Otherwise, you can get swept up by a Coco GX attack if they are able to accumulate Electro Powers. This build so far, we haven't seen any sign of Jirachi, so it's kind of hard for him to accumulate Electro Powers in a similar way that the sort of Thunder Buddies build can do. It's kind of the reason why I was pretty surprised he put all the energy on the active. I thought he would put it to the Zeraora just so he could retreat and attack again, guaranteed. But instead, we're going to see a Lele come down. Going to see a Guzma get picked up. Going to play Guzma. Bring up Shaybe. It's going to be another full blitz, or is he going to... Yeah, it's just going to be a full blitz. Okay. Now Zeraora's getting some energy cards. We draw into a Celesaur. I like attaching. Erika sounds correct. Looking for crushing hammers at this point. It's really the only thing we're after. Already holding a DCE, and we're going to maybe recycle anyway. Don't think we need the PokéNav in this instance. I think guaranteed netball is probably stronger. We're just going to Pollen Hazard. We're still setting him up for an Evergreen. That's the idea. And we want him to move out of the way. Because he's a threat. So retreating to Zeraora. And just Plasma Fists. For 130. One of these. Tails. Go for a heal. Go for a heal. That's why we always want to have a constant flow of Gardenias. One thing we're missing out on so far is, well, we're at 240, 270. Stadium and a couple of things. There's not much to ask for. We'll make him have an extra, I guess. Well, he doesn't need it. We're at 290, effectively. So he could have triple Electro Power or double Electro Power Stadium. Would be scary. Just a retreat into Zapdos by the looks of things. Energy Switch as well. And a Thunderous Assault. 140. We're definitely going to kill this. So we're going to do our heals. Use this up, retreat, and am I going to Evergreen back my stuff, or am I going to Stadium and Solar Beam? I think Stadium, Solar Beam. I want to get back my Gardenias. can still lose to a Coco GX with 3 Electro Powers, or 2 Electro Powers and banned. Still a very real possibility. He hasn't played any just yet. You're going to see an Ultra Ball. Definitely scared of a Coco GX coming up here. Just an Eevee is a lot less scary. See a Thunderous Assault for 80. You can heal that all off. I'm still going to respect the Coco GX possibility. Am I? If I just kill this, Guzma's game. If I... Well, let's see what the judge... let's play this quickly. If I kill this, he can't Coco GX. Oh, he still could. He could have Thunder Mountain. Yeah, I think we're just killing the active here. Try and give him a 1-turn clock to get Coco GX plus 3 damage modifiers. Plus energy or stadium now. Well, we're going to start seeing it happening. There's 2 Electro Powers. Ah, that's not game. Yep, we win. Very good. Only thing we have to be... Like, there's a constant threat of a Coco GX in this matchup. If you want to stay very defensive, you can try and Pollen Hazard the entire game, but it feels a little bit slow. And we were able to knock out Pikarom eventually. Obviously they weren't drawing optimally either, but they were trying to hold on to some Electro Powers at the very least to scare us, keep us on our toes. I want to dedicate that win to PokéNav, by the way. Got us a DCE. Erika drew us 5 cards. We essentially had an 8-card dig for DC on turn 2. Poggers. Actually, it was our turn 1. Looks like we love starting Erika at the moment. Rather than a Lillie, which is a shame. We are going second at the very least, though, so if our opponent does start benching a bunch of stuff, we can capitalise on that. We're going to see a Nest Ball. And are we looking at another Lightning deck? Oh, they're playing Zebstrika. So this is more likely to be a Thunder Buddies type thing. Maybe even just Zapdos Jolt. We'll see if he puts down a Pikarom here. Yep, it's going to be a Zapdos Jolt by the looks of things. If he has space for Zebras, he's not going to be playing the Pikaroms. Zapdos Jolteon is usually a better matchup for us than Pikarom. There's still the constant fear of a Coco GX though, so keep that in mind. We pretty much only set up 1 Celesaur in this matchup. Our opponent has benched 4 things turn 1 for us, which is an absolute godsend. I'm going to draw a card before the net ball. I think One playable, two player. We'll do this first. Okay. Now that we've picked up a grass energy, do I want to... we'll play this for sure. That's always happening. This is always happening. Do I want to do it? I already have supporter, I already have Guzmas. Thinking if I want to go ahead and get a Shaymin just yet. I don't think I need to. I can hold all this, to be honest. I think this just comes in and we pass. Yeah. We'll dig for stuff next turn when we know what we need to dig for. Basically, we already have one grass energy to start pollen hazarding. We have Guzma if he's going to try and bring up this guy. So when you put down that second Celesaur is when you have to be a little bit careful, and us playing no Acerola is a little bit scary in that regard. But we're currently holding on to double Guzma. We were holding on to one before the Erikas, which makes me feel a little bit better about ourselves. We're going to see energy to Zapdos, evolving up into Zebstrika as well. Going to see a switch, just to hit us for 50 by the looks of things. Okay. I'm going to play the Acro Bike and the Whistle before Netball because we're trying to find ourselves more Shaymin. That's one way to do it. Okay, basically undoing all their damage from last turn. Attach, gonna Lillie for 2 cards. Oh, we don't want to do that just yet. We want to get the heals. What else do we really want to look for? I think it's only really like Choice Helmet that I could benefit from right now. I think I can hold it till next turn. They do have the Zero Aura though, which some Zapdos builds don't have, so it will be easier for him to pivot. Sometimes Celesaur can try and trap Zapdos, make them spend a lot of switch cards and stuff, because we're going to 2-shot them rather than 1-shot them early on. But in this case, they have a Zero Aura on board, so I'm expecting to at least get hit by like the Jolteon, if not another Zapdos this turn. Depending on what they want to try and go for. Here's a Coco, so they could start going Aggro Jolt if they want to. Let's see the free retreats into the Jirachi. Let's see a Guzma as well. They do have to be very careful with... Well, I mean, we're holding on to Guzmas, so he may just try and bring up our Celesaur here. Oh, it's bringing up a Shaymin. Is he going to have to waste an Electro Power? Yep. I much prefer seeing Electro Powers get spent into Shaymins. Really do prefer that a lot to any other outcome, because we don't have to put down more, and we can always... Like, it's stopping, or it's hurting his burst potential with a Coco GX, which is our bigger fear, for sure. I'm thinking right now if I want to just Gust knock out the Jirachi here. That's my only real thought this turn. I like it. It means that we don't have to attach energy. taking a Jirachi off his board to give us easier prizes down the line as well. Let's do this. Heal. We won't attach because we're trying to respect the... Well, unless we want to get back... What do we really want to get back? Nothing so far. There's literally nothing we need back just yet. So we'll just take the easy prize. Don't want him getting free digs every turn because we're scared of Electro Power nonsense. Getting a counter stadium's nice for when they... I mean, they're probably not going to play Shrine. They're probably just playing Thunder Mountain as their only stadium card. More Jirachis hitting the board is always welcome because they're easier prizes for us. They're going to grab another Guzma. There is the Thunder Mountain. And they're going to Guzma up the Shaymin again. There's another Electro Power going in. Oh, they don't have to. They counter-stadiumed. What am I talking about? It means that we can take the knockout on the Zapdos if we want to not put the counter-stadium in. I don't dislike that. Hand really isn't taking us very far, though. I'll probably play the Judge Whistle this turn. See if we can get a better supporter. Yeah, we'll see. Right on time. We'll do this. I think I just want to grab nothing here. Play it for the sake of playing it. Do I bait more Guzmas? No. I think this is fine. Choice helmets are welcome additions to try and make us even tankier. Now we can Solar Beam. So one Electro Power down, Stadium bumped. Two energy in the discard pile though, so we can expect some shenanigans to start coming our way soon. We'll see a Stellar Wish from them. Gonna grab themselves a Volkner. That can make some combos happen. At the very least, it can get him in a skateboard. Yeah, I'm going to see that Volkner. It's going to grab a Rope and a Lightning Energy. That was the one downside to us drawing into Cynthia and playing it. It means we don't have guaranteed Guzma in hand. We have a 4-card dig with our top deck to try and find one of our 2 remaining, which isn't all that likely, I'll be honest with you. The attachment to the Zeraora. Just a pass. By the looks of things, it is. Oh, gonna see Ultra Ball. Maybe they're getting Coco GX proactively, which is really good for us, by the way, if they do. They're gonna grab an Absol Again, good thing we don't play buff padding. Let's draw a card. Let's see 2 more cards. We definitely don't want to get baited into attaching a 5th energy here. Only 1 Electro Power gone, no choice bands played. We're just going to play this to get it out of our deck. The Cynthia. Try and be patient for a Guzma to come our way. A couple of crushings seems good to me. And yeah, Crushing Hammer doing the biz. Buying us time. Nice. Out-resourcing that deck is always good fun. Alright, let's go for another game. A couple of lightning decks slain by our big Celebi boy. Let's have one more game and see what we can come up against. Still trying to dodge and weave those clowns and those ultras. Looks like we've hit a Zoroark deck. Zoroark will always keep us honest. We have to be careful with our bench and a few other things, but so far, going okay. Got the busted start, busted turn 1 supporter, all looking good. Have a turn 1 energy. This is marvelous. They start a Shaymin Lillie as well, which is always great. We didn't get to draw 3 cards, but that's fine for now. That's all we really need. Just pass. Ah, an Elm build of Zoro. I'm going to grab Zorua Ditto. Looks good to me. One interesting card we could think about adding into this deck is actually the Wob effect to shut down Coco Prism Star to stop Coco GX. Never really thought of that before, but it's an option. Okay, they attach energy. Let's try and get rid of it. We can go for PokéNav to try and find DC. We also have the Judge's Whistle to potentially get us into a better supporter. Just a grass. How many are we drawing? That's insta-playable because it can go straight for the stadium. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't take this. We just rearrange the Aether to the top. And then we Erika for 4 cards. Attach Erika, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can still take it, because this is insta-play. And then we have the other grass in hand, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. The only reason to not take the grass energy was we had the option of hitting a DC off this Erika. But it's only 4 cards. We're not going to get too overzealous about it. We'll just attach another green one and pass. We have a couple Gardenia, which is always really good for us when we're up against this deck. They're trying to rush beating a lot of the time. And Gardenia is very good against Riotous Beating. Very, very good. We held Whistles and Bikes, by the way, because the only thing we wanted to find is really a choice helmet this turn. That's like the only thing that is good. Or like another Crushing Hammer. Whereas next turn we might want to dig for other stuff. And they're a deck that can always play Judge on us. So we want to keep these draw cards available. Because Judge is very scary for this deck. As it stands, they're just going to play a Mallow by the looks of things. Multi-switch to the active, attach to the active, and swing. Okay. I guess healing 50 is kind of fine. Multi-switch is gone. So I'm not really 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 21. If they, well, there's Kukui chance, to be fair. Fine, we'll just do this. Nothing else we need this turn. We'll just Pollen Hazard. They mallowed a Zoroark to the top. No surprises there. Probably another one. Or just a draw supporter this turn. Potentially they even put an Acerola there. Yeah. Not bad. They knew they'd get the free hit in on us. Resets their Lele for a supporter next turn. Or this turn. That means they might be playing a Muck this turn. From this Ditto. Or he's just doing it for Rider Beating damage. Field Blower. Okay. Now we can start digging. We already have a Guzma. This feels fine. This feels fine. Just keep drawing cards. Drawing card. There he is. Backup Celebi Venusaur achieved. We'll go for the Pollen Hazard. We know he can Acerola if he really wants to. But that's 2 Acerolas already gone for him. Now that we've played 2 Gardenias, I'm imagining our turn is going to go something like attach the 3rd energy, bench, Lillie, GX, back our 2 Gardenias. That's pretty much how I'm seeing it go. Because that sounds pretty good. We can Lillie and try and draw into more heal and draw cards. And hammers. Always happy to see hammers. There is that Acerola. 2 gone. They're probably going to have to power pad these 2 back. It's a long slog trying to get through Zoroark. I'm not going to deny it. There's Rider Beating for 80. We'll draw both of these anyway. Am I going to full heal here? That's the question. I feel like a Guzma play isn't actually the worst here, you know. Guzma knockout Ditto means we have our Shaymin like the whole for a lot more time for these Shaymins, and they're really awkward for him to deal with. Let's deal this Ditto. I like our Shaymin, they're helpful. Crushing Hammer's a nice pickup. Let's see just an Elms lecture from our opponent. Trying to develop more basics. Looks like Rockruff and some Zorua. See a trade as well. Banned. Oh, he traded away the Rockruff? Interesting. He wants to go pure Zorro this game, by the looks of things. Crushing is always a pain for him to deal with. This is good. This is good. Speaking of pain for him to deal with, Field Blow has already been played from him, so this is likely going to stick. Let's give him the Pollen Hazard. We are currently supporterless, which is somewhat of a concern. But we always have Evergreen next turn if he is going to smack into us. He is going to grab himself Zoroark and Muck. Maybe he just wants the Muck to trade away now that Ditto's knocked out. Going to get rid of an Ultra Ball first though. And a Lycanroc. So he's trying to forego Lycanroc this whole game. Which makes sense, we are a grass deck. And it's 2 attachments. Both things are pretty awkward for him. Gonna see a Kukui to dig a little deeper. Power Pad finally gets back those Acerolas. Gonna see another Ultra Ball. Gets rid of a Fighting Energy, which I'm always happy to see. And a Judge. I also am very happy to see that go into the discard pile. He's now going to develop that Grimer. We actually pick up Guzma. Wow. Knocking out this Grimer is going to be amazing. But knocking out the active is also amazing. Yeah, we're just going to knock out the active this turn. We won't be needing our Shaymins next turn because we can Evergreen. We're already holding a Guzma for our potential knockout on the Lele with an Evergreen. Even if it means I have to pay a retreat on something else, it's fine. They're going to stretch it back a Zoroark. They grab themselves an Oranguru, and they're going to Cynthia. So they can, infinite loop Acerola and stuff, but we can knock out Oranguru very, very easily. I'm going to trade away a Rockruff. Trade away an Elm. DC Band. Smack. Looks like the perfect turn to Guzma this Lele and knock it out. Let's do this while we're at it. Because we can recycle it anyway with our GX attack. I don't want to recycle either of these cards. So we'll just go for the Evergreen. I mean, it's all of our Guzmas. Maybe I messed up here. Maybe I should just... it's rough, actually. Huh, interesting. Maybe I... No. Yeah, we've definitely done this wrong. I should have just killed the Guru. Kill Guru, let him take 3 prizes, and then just, Evergreen on this one. Interesting. I think I've actually made an error here. Maybe it's me sacrificing... but him picking this up is actually a problem. Maybe I actually have to just pass here. Whoops. This is a big error. Because we need to recycle these Guzmas. Really. We'll just pass. Maybe it means he has to Guzma his Lele away. And then we're still not getting hit. But no, he plays one copy of Switch. Okay. I still feel pretty comfortable. Because we're going to Evergreen back 3 Guzmas anyway. That was a big error though. Got too excited about Evergreen. Forgot that I need a 5th energy. Because we need these Guzmas. And the Gardenias to a lesser extent. There's a DC. Okay, 3 prizes going his way. Right, let's focus again. That's definitely happening. This is definitely happening. This is definitely happening. That's Lillie. Grab this. And we'll just Pollen Hazard. Man, I set myself back a lot. We were super far ahead. We should still be winning this game pretty comfortably, but you can obviously Acer Rudder this guy and hit us with Zoroark, but we're still able to just Evergreen. The awkward thing is I spent my Guzma, so I can't just do it on a Lele now, which was pretty much a big part of our plan. Whoops. Still pretty certain we can close out this game pretty comfortably. They're going to go Zoro number 3. Start looking at some discard piles. Obviously he can Oranga everything back, but probably only once. Here comes the monkey. Powerpad Stretcher Rockruff. Let's knock out this guy. He didn't put back any energy cards, which is interesting. Still has 1 DC left. I guess he can always Acer Rudder this. Yeah, fair. Didn't put back a stadium though, which is pretty good for us. Why the Rockruff? You can already get Stretcher. He actually just got rid of an Acerola. Interesting. Oh, is he going to try and corner stall a Shaymin? Oh, crumbs. That's what he's going for. Yeah, corner stall is his play. But he doesn't have enough cards. Oh, he has the Rescue Stretcher. Oh, I guess he can Acerola and start Orangarooing. But as soon as he does that, he breaks the corner lock anyway. We should have enough cards in deck that this isn't a problem. He has to break it first. putting in more Guzmas. I think this is just a hardcore way of conceding. The corner would have given them good options, but it's not going to be enough. Also, he doesn't know that we play full Guzmas either. So this corner is futile. I can just wait. Well, he's going to keep playing for what it's worth, but I think we have him. If he wants to deck us out, he has to Oranguru, but he's also just got rid of his second Acerola, so I don't think he can. I think he's trying to run the clock, so let's give him a love heart emoji. I think that's the best thing we can do at this point. And also, it's great that we have this on video, so everyone knows this guy's a bit of a pleb. There we go. Alright, 3 wins for Celebi. Not bad, not bad. That was even with a huge blunder against the Zorro player. The greedy Guzma. Where we could have just kept smacking the active and taken 2 prizes at the same time, I think. Incredible. Well, Celebi, if you can dodge and weave, you're a threat. There's no doubt about it. Hope you did enjoy the video, guys. We got to see Celebi actually working today. Hooray! And yeah, hope you enjoyed the list and everything else. Get it all down below. Let me know what you think about the deck, the archetype, all that good stuff. For now, though, it has been Joe from OmniPoke, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.